Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be installing the Kioti third function kit on my CK2610. I'll show you what we... There is the third function kit. I haven't even unboxed it yet, but that's from my Kioti dealer. I guess that's the actual kit that Kioti makes. But I will be running my new 54-inch Kioti grapple once I get that installed. But first thing, we need to make some room in the shop. So we're going to be pulling some stuff out, and then we'll get started. Here's our third function kit. We're going to open it, unbox it, and see what all we got in here. Here's our knife. Get in this thing. I want to be careful so you don't cut no holes. I don't think it would. Alright, so this is a Kioti brand. Made by Kioti third function kit. Here's a part list that comes with, and owner's manual. You got your hoses. Let's get this forward here. Hoses. Oh, you get a complete whole new shifter. I didn't realize that. I thought you just got the cap. So with the Kioti kit, you get the whole thing. And the wires are actually integrated into the actual piece here, made all up in one there, instead of zip tying it all the way up through there. That'd be real nice. So yeah, so that's definitely a plus, I think. Looks nicer and cleaner. Here's some of your other hoses here, hydraulic hoses. Not sure what's what. I haven't even looked at the instructions, and there's a couple relays.
That's what I was going to say, instructions.
Yeah, instructions are important, ain't they? Here's another hose. Let's see, here's another box. Here's a housing. I think that's for the actual valve block that you put on your tractor. I think it hangs below the bottom of the tractor, and this is to protect it. So we got that, and it's more of the bracket for that. And then we got this here. Let's see.
Another box.
Another box, that's right. Let's see what it is here.
It would be magical. There's like a box in here, then a box in there, and then another box in there.
All right. Just some fittings, different fittings, and brackets, and some other hoses, hard fixtures, O-rings. So yeah, we'll go through everything and set it all out and get ready to get her installed. First step in our third function valve install is we're going to remove the tar, the rim. Then we're going to take the fender off. I think it said 9 bolts, and there's 2 nuts. Then we remove that. And then also, let me show you here. You got to remove this thing here, the little plastic cover over everything. There's just you got to remove your knob, and then there's a couple of bolts right down there. So you got to remove them. Alright guys, the next step is to remove this, and all you do is pull it, the pin, pop it out, fold it up, so to be out of the way, so you can get back here to this pipe here, the hydraulic pipe that's hooked up to this valve. This pipe here you're removing, but you will reinstall it, so be careful with your seals. You undo it here, and then if I can get back here where you can see, and you're going to remove it, this right here, there's a, I think it's a 13 millimeter, so you're going to remove that. And then also you're going to be removing this top piece here, there, and then underneath the seat, right, let's see, where is it, right, let's see if I can get over here a little bit better here, right, well, I can't hardly get, right there, that's where it's at there. I'm thinking I can just get a socket on top of it and then use a ratchet and remove that. So that's the next steps here. Alright, well now we gotta install this adapter here. It goes where we took that hard hose off, right underneath the seat. It goes up underneath the seat there and it bolts down. Then you use the existing bolt that you pulled out of the original piece. But there's two seals, one goes here, one goes here. And then once you set it on there, you'll see, I think it's right, it's up in there, but you'll see there's an existing bolt you loosen up, and then you just put this slide underneath of it and slide it around, drop your bolt in. And then you're going to come off with this angle with, it's labeled R. And then you're going to hook that there. Alright, got that piece there right here. Got it mounted. It bolts here underneath the seat. It goes to your main hydraulic block there. Then it comes out, and then this is it right here, actually, right there. Take that nut, bolt loose there, and the bracket slides under there. Then you bolt it up back there. So there's your bolt. Make sure your seals are in there. Then it comes out, and then you put hydraulic, it's labeled R. There's two of them in the kit. I use the long one. I'm running it up and out here, just like that. That's how I'm doing it. Then I'm bringing it into the box here to the hydraulic valve there. Actually, I'm gonna zip tie it to the hoses here. So anyway, then I put this one here I took off earlier in the video. The instructions said, I don't guess you really have to, but I put it back. So now I got to hook up the other mount here. It goes just like this right here. So yeah, goes to that top one there, and then you take that existing bolt and the bracket slides up in there. And use your existing bolt in there, and the kit has two new seals you put in there on each side, just like we got this piece here mounted now. It goes up here in the top section there, then it comes down, and like I said, you take that bolt out there, existing bolt and put that in. Then what I was saying earlier is hose P. Okay, so both of these hoses, hose R and hose P, are going to come down and they're going to go in this hydraulic valve. There's actually a metal box I got to install, and then the actual valve is mounted in the box. The box is to protect it, but it's going to go in here. And then I'll show you that valve. It's all labeled like R, P, and that's why they're labeled with letters, so you'll know where to hook up the hoses. So there's that. We'll get this box mounted next. Here real quick, here's the valve. So like I said, we did hose P a while ago, so it goes here, and then hose R goes there. See the R? Got an R there. It goes there, and hose B will go here. Hose A will go here, and then there's nothing here. So, and that's exactly how it's gonna sit in that box. And this would be the back side where them hoses are going to come out, the ones we just put on P and R. So that's the valve there. Alright, we're getting ready to mount that box. That had a zip tie up here. I just cut it off. But on my CK2610, this is the mounting brackets, okay? And then the box will go, this is heavy, see if I can do it in one hand. But it'll go like that, and then there's boat hose inside there. We'll get that mounted up real quick. Alright guys, I decided to go ahead and mount the valve in the box, and it just comes with a couple, about like all thread, really what it is. But you screw all 4 of them in, just like this here. And then they also give you a, one second here, give you a little rubber pad that goes between the metal and the valve just to help protect it. So it goes just like this here. And then this is the top, okay? This is the top of the box, how it's going to be mounted. This would be the top, this would be the bottom. So the valve goes just like this. So set it down in there. Just like that there. And I'll flip it up like this here. And I'm going to put got a lock washer for each one. Just like that. I'm going to put a socket to these, get these good and tight, and then we'll mount the box. Alright, we're going to mount the box here. We got our 2 bolts, a flat washer and a lock nut. That's basically how the box is mounted. So the box goes just like that there, and then the bolts go right there and right. So this is R, and that's P, that one's R. So basically, you're going to take your caps off of it. And this is going to go right here. We get it all started up, and we'll tighten everything up. Get that started. Take this one off. this one. Alright, we got all that tight, both fittings. Just kind of tucking some of this hose up so it'll be out of the way. I don't see, but right in here, hose, I'm probably just going to zip tie it up so it ain't hanging down low. I don't want to rip it off or nothing. But anyway, so now then, what we'll do is put the other hoses on, be A and B, and it'll come up here. Then I'll have to mount the plate. Alright, so I'm going to put this bracket on here. That's for the hookups from here to the front of the front end loader. Basically what you got to do is disassemble this. Take your metal plate, put it on top, back in there like that. So we're going to take these off and insert our plate in and then put them back in. Alright, we got our bracket mounted just like that there. And I'll show you these fittings. Basically the quick disconnects go there. This flat area on this one here goes up in the quick disconnect. Your bevel, that's for your hydraulic hose. And then this nut is to tighten it up on that plate. Basically it goes up in here like this, and this goes in here. This nut goes up on this. And then we'll have our hydraulic hoses come from our valve A and B here. And then we want to make sure we keep A and B straight all the way down. Alright, we get these mounted up. Alright, so we got these fittings good and tight. Now we're going to put our A and B hose on from our valve. That's B. That's B. So we'll put this 90 like that there. We'll run it through here like this. We'll put it there. And then either one, we'll put it here. We just got to keep it straight with the load ends down there so we know A and B. And then also we'll do A the same way. A will be probably like that there. You can see, there you go here, come out here, and then all here. One of the two. Alright, we'll get these strapped up here and fastened down. Alrighty, we got our hoses hooked up to our valve here, A and B, which is right here. And this is going to, again, hook up to the other hose that goes out to where it actually hooks onto the grapple or whatever attachment you're going to use. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the new control arm. I called it a shifter earlier, but it's actually a control arm, lever or whatever, and it's got the function, the valve or the switches that you can work your grapple open and close. So basically, the good thing about buying a Kioti kit is you actually get a harness. It's just basically a plug and play type kit. So, but then these here go down to your valve, and I'll kind of walk through it as I put it together. But first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our shifter off. It's pretty simple. I mean, there ain't nothing but two bolts right there and there, and it removes the whole control arm. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to get our control arm on, and then we'll get everything tightened up for it, and then we'll move on to the next thing. Alright, we got the shifter on here. We'll talk a little bit about the wiring, because instructions ain't the best in the world, and every tractor, your tractor may be different how it's set up, but Okay, so you got the water coming off your shifter, right? Okay, it goes down. And then they give you, let me get you set here. The harness is right here, okay? This is basically the harness. You got this in, and then you got your two that go to your relays. And then in instructions, it ain't clear on what side's what. So I guess if you don't like the way your switches on your handle are working, if you want one to open and the other to close, or the opposite, however you want it, you probably can just swap these around. Basically, all they do is you just plug them into each relay and tighten that little screw down there. So you got that. And then this here, this part of the plug here, it comes off of the 3 right here. That's actually what goes to your control stick, your joystick. So you just plug that in there. So then you plug up your relays, and then here's the next issue that I found. It took me a second to figure out. This is your main power. Give your power to your switch. So the instruction, it also comes with this pigtail. You can plug this pigtail in, and if you got a cigarette lighter, 12-volt plug, not a cigarette lighter, aka cigarette lighter, you can unplug the cigarette lighter and plug in here, and plug cigarette lighter back into here, 12-volt plug. So you can just splice into it. Mine don't. So actually what I've got to do is I'm going to have to cut this end off. It's just a red and a black, and I had to find a hot wire, a constant hot when the key's on, which what I found was back here. Because when you turn the key on, the tail light stays on. So this wiring harness right back there. You gotta pull your wires out, and you're gonna tie into the red and the black wire. Because when you turn your key on, your tail light is always on back here. So you always have power to it. So what you'll do is just splice right into that. So that's where we're at now. We're gonna cut that end off the plug, splice into this, and then we're going to start zip tying things up. And that's pretty much got about all of it down on this end. We just have to work on the front. All right, so we got all our electrical hooked up. Best way to just check it before you put your fender and all that back in the way, so you make sure you got good connection, is you can just turn your key on and then work your switches back and forth, open and close, and they'll light up down here. So there's one. I don't know if you can see it lit up. There it goes right there. All right, then the opposite. See how it's lighting up? So we got good connection there. So now I guess basically we're gonna put it all back together, but that's what I had to end up doing, just tying into that constant hot when the key's on. So all right, we got the fender back on, tire back on, the rim and all that. Everything's good to go on this end. If you've never taken off tires off of a tractor, just be prepared. It's heavier than what you think if you've never messed with them. Some of you may have, but some of you may haven't, and I don't know. Just there's more weight there than what you think. All right, so now what we're going to do is, this is the cover plate. Basically, it's got the threaded hose, 3 of them. You got your bolt and lock washer on it, but it just basically goes up on the bottom and slides right in, and you put the bolts in and it covers it up. So that's what we're going to do now. Get this thing covered up, and then we're going to tighten these up here, but then we're going to run the hoses they got long hoses with, it's got some protective stuff around the hoses. We got to run down the front end loader, and we got to put a bracket on, but we'll get this cover tightened up first, and then we'll go from there. All right, here's the components for the front of the tractor on the front end loader. This is the bracket. I'll show you where you mount that. This is also where your hookups go to. So what you're going to have is this. You got to screw this in, and this is going to go in the top one, and then you put your nut on the back, and then that's where your hydraulic hose is going to hook up to. And then you're going to do the same with the bottom one. Put it in, slide it through, tighten this up. And then this is your roll of hydraulic hose. It goes from your hookup mounted on your tractor, goes down through your front end loader. I guess you just zip tied and just do the best you can with that there. But so that's our next step. I'll show you real quick. I'll get this camera here where this bracket here actually mounts. Let's see. All right, so this actually mounts these bolts here. Basically, it's going to go in there like that, if you can see it. So you take out these 3 bolts, 1, 2, 3, and just put it in there like that. All right, we're going to get her mounted. Guys, that includes our install. We got our grapple on. Everything works good. I'm going to check my hydraulic fluid and just make sure, because I know the line's got to fill up. This has got to fill up. So that's fluid in your machine that you lose. But everything is together, and I'll show you the last little run I did of the hoses here. Let's see. Let me see if I can get it over there. But there's the hoses. They go up along the bucket or the loader there. Come up through there like that, and then they come around, and then that's where we add that plate, and that's where they hook up at. And that's how the box looks once it's on there and done and everything. So far everything looks good. If you like the video, give us a thumb up. Subscribe to our channel. We're going to try to add more videos, and we'll see how it goes. I just want to be a help to somebody, because I struggled on finding a video on the wiring. I couldn't find none on YouTube. But all right, thanks guys.